How are you doing? Perhaps one of the terms you're going to hear profusely these days referring to Ecuador is muerte cruzada, cross death. What does it mean? Let me explain.
I have decided to apply Article 148 of the Constitution of the Republic, which grants me the power to dissolve the National Assembly.
An impeachment trial against President Guillermo Lasso. The first day took place in the last hours and lasted 12 hours. The president before that corporation said he was innocent. However, Ecuador's National Assembly has a majority that supports former President Rafael Correa. It was presumable that on Saturday, when the final vote of the impeachment trial was to take place, Lasso would lose power. And what did he use? The cross death. Cross death is a constitutional provision in Ecuador that allows the president to dissolve himself of the National Assembly to call for elections in 6 months on condition that he does not remain in power. And therefore, this morning, President Lasso has signed that decree that an uncertain period is coming for Ecuador while everything that is happening is being adjusted because it is already irrevocable and that is going to happen. The other thing is also a sign of the fragility and the use of tools that were created for exceptional situations and that end up being transformed in tools of political revenge for Ecuador. What is coming is very difficult. It has economic problems, it has drug trafficking problems, and now he's adding political problems. We will be very attentive during the day to what happens with this cross-death figure and what is going to happen with Ecuadorian politics in the next hours. If one has to put the armed forces in the equation, it is most likely that the Ecuadorian armed forces support the institutional order. I want to be clear. This is a constitutional provision. It is not an invention of the president, as it happened in Peru with former President Castillo. Therefore, the armed forces will have to comply with this order. Most likely they will, although Ecuador has a tradition of so-called white coups, which is when the military takes away the backing of the executive branch.
I have signed Executive Decree number 741. Furthermore, I have requested the National Electoral Council to immediately call for legislative and presidential elections for the remainder of the respective periods.
Temporarily dissolve the Congress of the Republic and establish an exceptional emergency government.
The main difference, if you ask yourself, between what is happening in Ecuador and what happened in Peru is that in Ecuador, the figure of cross death is a constitutional figure. In the case of Peru, the dissolution of Congress was due to an internal situation that did not have much support. It is a subtlety, if you want, but what makes the difference is the call for elections. While Castillo decreed an emergency and constituted himself in power, here, the constitutional article requires this 6-month election. Therefore, although similar in form, they are different in form.